Hey everybody, I'm back with another video. Like, it's been a while, but I'm back and just want to do like a little chit chat or whatever, and probably do something to my hair. It's been quite some time. Um I really don't have that much good lighting in here. I wish I did. I'm trying to think of where I could get some lighting from. Like, I don't know, but I need some extra lighting. Like, but this will have to do for now. So, I just wanted to talk about like, oh, I just want to talk about believing in yourself, like to believe in yourself. And I know that sounds so cliche, and it sounds like a fairy tale story or a fairy tale topic, but it's more important than we give credit for, and it's more important than people think. So I want to just talk about that, and it's believing yourself. To me, is just like it will make or break you. I think so. So hold on 1 second. All right, I had to close my door really quick. But yeah, I just want to talk about believing in yourself. And I was gonna do my makeup, but I don't really feel like doing my makeup. But I will do my hair though, cause yeah, as y'all can see, I dyed my hair a couple days ago. So yeah, I dyed my hair. I dyed Damon's hair, and I dyed Aiden's hair. I mean, I did not dye Aiden's hair. No, but Aiden did get a haircut. If y'all know, which I probably don't, which I think he has been on this channel like in the other videos, but he had like a head full of like curly hair. He just got his first haircut, y'all, and he just looked like the cutest little thing. So anyways, I'm gonna do my hair, and then we're just gonna kind of chit chat about believing in yourself or whatever. And what brings me to this this topic is, I was having a conversation with my sister um, a while back, probably not even a whole month ago, and she was just like, cause what she's doing now, she was a nurse. Like, she went to school, graduated college, and she has so many degrees, and like very smart, um, biology, type of chick or whatever. But she decided to put that on like the back burner to take care of her family because she has, small babies or whatever. So I would say, for lack of better words, I would say she's pretty much living like the housewife type of life. Um, I'm low key finding myself low key living that too, but we'll talk about that another day. But yeah, so she's pretty much kind of like just, you know, just homeschooling the kids, and, um, just doing wifely duties and all that good stuff, right? So, but she's a really good cook. Like, she is an amazing cook. Like, she could cook whatever it is, desserts, dinners, she can do it all. Really good cook. And I always was like, girl, why don't you like invest in these? What you're doing? Like, girl, go and freaking start you a business doing what you already do, doing what you love to do, and it's to cook. And not only do she cook, but her husband cook as well. So I'm like, people love to see stuff like that. Like, you and your husband cooking, like, this thousands of views right there. Like, that's a whole market in itself of like couples cooking. People love to see stuff like that. I think even me, I would probably be interested in seeing stuff like that too, because it shows like the harmony in like y'all's relationship. It shows, people want stuff like that, and to see it is just like, it's I think I have a really business oriented mind. Like I can think of business ideas like this, this, this. I can think of business ideas like out of my butts. Okay, like seriously, I was at one point I was thinking about even selling business ideas where I thought that'd be a little bit weird, but I could. That's just how driven I am about business and entrepreneurship and or to me it's more like having a purpose. It's not even like okay, oh I got a business or I got two businesses. It's about you walking into your purpose. And I know how much that has done for me. And I'm like, man, if everybody just had that feeling, like I feel like it would just make the world a better place. You know what I mean? Like everybody just walk into their purpose. Like she loves to cook. She's a good cook. A lot of people don't like to cook. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of money in there. A lot of people don't like to cook. Like if I could just pay you 15, 20, $25 for a good, nice size plate and it's good and healthy and it's stuff that I like, I'd rather pay you. Like there's money into your pocket, there's money into your household. So, but back to what I was saying. So I was just telling her like, you should start a business or whatever. And she was like, I'm kind of scared of, being vulnerable on camera or whatever. And I'm just like, girl, like that's the least of your worries. Being vulnerable on camera, like who cares? And I'm not gonna say that like it's just the most simplest thing in the world, but it kind of is when you are talking about stuff that you're passionate about. Like not talking about stuff that you don't know nothing about and you ain't got no knowledge on. Of course, it's gonna be cringy to get on camera and talk about stuff like that. But you talking about stuff that you would be talking about anyways, then you like, why not just do it? You know what I mean? Why not just set up a camera? And not to mention, but you cooking every day anyways. So like that should be so easy because you gotta eat. Like to me, I'm like, girl, that's just so freaking easy. All you gotta do is set your camera up and cook like for your kids, like how you normally would cook for your children. It don't have to be perfect. People think that it has to be so perfect. Like, oh my God, my kids is gonna be running around, my kids is gonna be in the background, I'm gonna have noise this, noise that, noise. Who cares? Like that's a part of your life. We want to see what's a part of your life. It don't have to look beautiful. I mean, you see me, I look crazy right now. Like, look at me. Literally looking crazy. But I'm talking about something that I'm passionate about, so I really could care less about how I look on camera. And plus I know like I could pop it whenever I want to pop it anyways. So that's another story. But I ain't here to talk about me. I'm just seriously just like, I just wish that more people would just have the balls to walk into their purpose. Like, and then she was just like, I don't see how you do it. I don't see how you just put yourself out there. And I'm just like, I ain't really have too much of a choice because this is something that I wanted to do. Like I want to make clothes. I want to make dresses for people. How are they gonna see the dresses if I never show them? And I think it looks bomb. Mind you, when I first started, I was making stuff that, to me, I still think it looks good for like beginner stuff. But what was I taking it? I still, regardless of how it looks in the beginning, you still gotta put it out there. That's what I'm saying. You still have to put it out there because people have to see it, and also people love to see growth of how, and you can see your own growth. I know I love seeing results. Like, oh my God, I used to do my dresses like this, but now look at my dresses, they look like this now. Like, I live for that right there. Just that feeling alone is just beautiful. So people are very scared of failing. Like that's like one of the biggest thing that trips people up. They don't like to fail. They don't like for people to see them failing, but you're not failing. You're actually succeeding because you're trying something and you're putting yourself out there to do something that ain't nobody else is doing, and that could very well change your life if you stay the course. Like it don't have to be just, you're not gonna be a celebrity. Like you're not gonna have celebrity traction and oh my god and 50,000 million followers. You shouldn't even want 50,000 million followers when you first start out because you ain't gonna know what to do with it. I know I don't I wouldn't I've been doing this for quite some time and I would be so overwhelmed if people was watching, millions of people were watching me. I mean, if that's God's will, then that's God's will. But I rather take it slow and have, you know, whatever God sees fit. But you shouldn't want millions of followers when you first start out. And it's okay to not have it all together. I told her, I said, that's the fun part about having a business is you not knowing what's next. That's the fun part because once you kind of got some experience and you still making rookie mistakes, you know that's when it's like, okay, you need to stop and you need to go learn about what you're doing. And that's really just somebody who trying to do something that they don't have no knowledge on. So you, of course, you definitely want to get the knowledge about what you're doing. But if you love what you're doing so much, getting the knowledge about what you're doing, that should be fun too. Like you researching about what you're doing, like taking classes and stuff like that. Like me taking dress classes, I took classes to do what I'm doing today. Like that didn't come from me just sitting around and hoping and wishing and praying and that it took time. That it takes time and it takes dedication. You got to show yourself that you want it, and it should be so interesting to you to where you low key don't want nobody even talking to you because you trying to figure this out. I remember watching videos all day, all night about how to elevate my dresses and take them from being simple to extravagant. And like, I remember watching videos all day and all night, literally, because it's that interesting. And when you love to do something, you just like, you invested into yourself. So that's really people's problem is believing in themselves. Ultimately, like you really don't believe in yourself. And that's what when I hear people say, you know, I'm scared to start my business or I'm scared to do that thing that I love to do. To me, it just sounds like you just don't believe in yourself seriously. And you're trying to give yourself every excuse as to why you can't invest in yourself, why you can't bet on yourself. Like a lot of people like to play it safe and they like to just go get a job. Like, let me just go get a job. That way, if I get a job, I can work in my business if I want to. A lot of people like to say stuff like that. Like they just don't want to commit themselves to what they're doing ultimately. And if you got a job, ain't nothing wrong with that either. But what if you have a job and you got a job for your business? Or you can at least put something towards your business. Like every time you get paid, oh, let me go do this. Let me go put, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to fall in love with what you're doing. If you don't fall in love with it, then you're going to fail because 9 times out of 10, it's more people in that field that's doing it and that's loving it and just putting their whole heart, everything into what they're doing. But you, on the other hand, you want to take it easy. You want to take it simple. You want it to come to you. And you just got to go get it. There ain't nothing that I'm doing. It ain't come to me. I had to go get it. I had to set this camera up and actually open my mouth to talk to y'all. It was who was gonna set this camera up? Who was gonna set this camera? Nobody was gonna set this camera. I had to actually do that for myself because you gotta do what you like to do. And that's what a lot of people, and I get it. A lot of people aren't meant to start businesses. I hear that. But what about your purpose though? What about your purpose? Because a lot of people are scared of that whole customer service thing and, you know, talking to people back and forth. A lot of people are scared of that part too. When in actuality, all you're doing is selling your product to them. That's really all you're doing. It's all you're doing is selling your product. Or you should probably get so good at it, and try to maybe look into getting somebody else to do that for you, somebody who's good at that. You know, thank God for like jobs. And I think that played a lot into my customer service. And, you know, I knew that I wanted to have good customer service when it comes to, you know, my business, because I've seen good customer service and I've seen what people like as like being a waitress and stuff like that. Like, you get to see, you know, how people respond to good customer service and bad customer service, and, you know, hospitality and stuff like that. That keeps people coming to you. But if you're a naturally good person and you care for people and you care about what you're doing, then to me, I don't think you need so much experience of customer service. I think it would just come natural to you. I think it'll be so natural to the way you just feel like you'll feel like you selling to like people in your family. They're just how well it'll be, because you'll be so grateful that people are taking the time out to taste your product, or wear your products and stuff like that. Like that's a really good feeling in itself. And I just want more people. I just see the potential on so many people, and I'm just like, man, if this person just believed in themselves, that they could just be so amazing. They could run the world low key, because nobody's in that lane right now. I always can see an open lane, and I'm like, why don't you just do that? Like, why don't you just do that? And nobody else is doing it. Nobody else is doing it. Why don't you just go ahead and take that? Because if you wait, I have to make sure my phone charger. If you wait, then you risk the chances of God giving that dream to somebody else who actually gonna see it through. That's a heartbreaker. Like, I would be heartbroken. Like, damn, that was my good idea right there. And then you see somebody else following through with it, making so much money, so happy doing it. People love, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that was your idea, but you was too scared to follow through with the plan, with the mission, with your purpose. That's number one. And I also told her, and I hope to God I did not scare her when I said this, but I mean it in a way in which I said, you should go ahead and start to get comfortable doing what you're doing. Like, as far as like making cookies and stuff, like making pastries and selling stuff, and or just giving it to people. You should go ahead and start tiptoeing into your purpose, because what you don't want to happen is you don't want God to put you in a situation where you have to fulfill your purpose, because who else is going to do it? Or he can give it to somebody else. But sometimes, and I believe this, sometimes you just the man for the job. You got to fulfill that purpose. God will put you in a situation where only you and nobody else will fulfill that purpose but you. So in order to go ahead and fulfill that purpose, I was just like, you should probably go ahead and start like getting yourself comfortable being in that position and learning about what you're doing. Because that's what happened to me, or for me. I would rather say it didn't happen to me, it happened for me, where I had just left college, like literally, and I knew doggone well that I was not going to graduate from nobody's college, because I just know me, and I knew that I didn't have the determination to graduate from college, nor was it something that I really wanted to do, because if you don't want to do it, then it's not going to get done. So when I went to college, I just BS the whole time there, like literally BS'd it and just had fun. I had mad fun, like with friends and stuff like that. But I knew early on that I wasn't going to graduate from college. But it's something that, you know, my parents, my mom, she was my mama. I know I said my mom. That's something that my mama wanted for me to do because that's what my sister, you know, that was her life. And I think a lot of parents too back then, they thought that just going to college was like the most grand thing in the world. Like, oh, you can go to college and, you know, you can get a good job and you can actually be somebody. But I also knew early, I knew early on that it's other ways to do it. I'm like, I know I ain't got to go to college and do all these 4 years. And suppose I don't, then what would my life look like if I don't go to college? But I also know that I'm going to be somebody. So something ain't adding up. Because I know I'm not going to graduate from college, but I also know I'm going to be somebody. So, you know, I just always knew that that wasn't the only way. I always knew that. Like, nobody had to tell me that. But a lot of people think like that. You know, a lot of people are so, me and my sister, we call it like left brain, right brain. Like right brain to me are like people who are mostly like creative, like super creative people, to where you almost don't even really thrive in like educational settings. Like, I'm trying to see who was like, what was I finna say? What was I saying? Like people who like are super creative, like I would say like a lot of fashion designers and stuff. For instance, not all, but some. You know, you have those like for me, for instance, I was good in like academics in like high school on down. I was really good in like math, all that good stuff, but it wasn't going no further than it. Like I'm not gonna go and just be the top five in my college. I knew that early on also. But you got some people who love school. They love to learn. They love school. That wasn't me. I was very creative. I'm very hands on. I like to cut stuff up. Like I love cutting stuff up and I like making things. Like I knew that I like to, you know, dress good and I like to look good and I like stuff like that, like a beauty. It was stuff like that I like, and I'm just that type of person. So when I'm looking down, like, you know, you filling out for college and they're asking you to, you know, select your major, your minor, and stuff like that, and then you sit right there wondering, you scrolling the list and just seeing like, what is this something that I would like to do? Like maybe there's something I would like to do, but you know, so I ended up taking up psychology because I also like to do a lot of research, you know, about people. I love to study people. Um, so I thought that was something interesting to take up, but then I also was like, but ain't no money in it, like for real. Man, I guess it is, you know, if you go off to be like a therapist or something or whatever. But I still knew that there's something that I didn't want to do. Like it was a option if, you know, other stuff didn't pan out for me. Like if other stuff didn't pan out for me, then I was like, okay, you know, I could very much well be a psychologist or something in that field because I still, that's something that I do enjoy also, is studying people. And which later on, when I decided that I wasn't going to college, I wasn't going to graduate from college, I had just started studying like astrology because that's another way to study, you know, people. And so I kind of took their route, the astrology route, to like learn about people and like the studies of like a group of people. And it was very interesting to me. And I still like astrology to this day. Not as much as I did before. I was very much obsessed with it, but it's neither here or there. Um, so one day, I think somebody walked in the hallway, but one day, I was leaving school, and I think it was the December break. It was the winter break, when you get out for winter, and I think you out for like that Christmas break, then you go back to school in January for the second semester or something like that. And I remember telling, I'm gonna tell you how I told her. But I knew I wasn't going back to school. I don't even know if I could go back to school, honestly. I think I might have been late on the rent. I might have been late on the rent. I don't even know how many credits I even got, how many credits I need. Like, and mind you, this is probably my second year. I'm probably finishing up my second year of college at this point. But I'm really just there. I'm probably not even doing no type of work or whatever. So this one particular day, I had already been thinking in my mind, and I wanted to be a model. Like, I don't know why, but at that time, I wanted to be a model. Like, I thought that would be so cool, like such a cool job. And I think I was just on social media, like, just heavy and seeing the girls, like, really just be beautiful for a living. Like I said earlier, that's stuff that I'm into. Like, I'm into looking beautiful and beauty. So I wanted to be into modeling. Back then my body was so teed up. Oh my God, this was before Aiden. My body was so teed that I could do it. Like, I'm gonna be a model. I was just like, I'm gonna be a model. So I ended up going on Instagram and like entering into like basically people needed models for like something, or like this place in Atlanta needed some models, and then he asked me to come up there and do some modeling for him. It was me and a few other girls, and one of the girls I'm still I keep in contact with her to this day. Mind you, this is back in 2018. I hadn't even left college yet at this point. So we ended up going out to Atlanta. I invited my boyfriend, Damon, and I invited my mama to, because number one, I don't even know how to drive in Atlanta, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity because, like, it's a modeling gig. Like, yay, get a model. And I thought this was like something, I thought this was like big. Like, oh my God, I'm finna be a model. Like, so we ended up going to Atlanta. It was up there shooting all day, y'all. Like, literally all day. But I had a good time. I had a good time doing it. So we ended up coming back. Y'all. It was me and Damon in the living room. And I think I was supposed to go back to school that next day. So I didn't tell her that I wasn't going back to school until the day before. Like, so basically I ended up telling her, going in her room. The mom was in the living room, and so I ended up going and telling her, I'm just like, I'm not going to school or whatever. I'm not going to school tomorrow. And I might have said it in like a jokingly way, but so, I was just kind of throwing it out there. And then she was like, what you mean? What you gonna do? And stuff like that. She was pissed. She was absolutely pissed off. Very much so pissed off. And I was like, because I want to be a model. Like, did you not just see me earlier? Like, I'm a model. I'm a model now. No, but seriously. I was telling her, like, I want to, pursue modeling or whatever. She was like, modeling? You want to do modeling? Like, I'm like, yeah, modeling. And she was just like, you dumb fool. Modeling, what? So what kind of job is even that? You gonna quit school to go try to be a model? Like, make it make sense? And I understand, like, from her perspective on how that sounded so stupid. But to me, I really just like to follow the beat of my own drum. I'm just that type of person. Like, you gotta kind of get out my way and let me do me and just have faith in what I'm doing. And that's all I need you to do. Okay? Move to the side. But she was doing what, any mother would do who is concerned, like, why are you dropping out of school to be a model? That sounds so stupid. But this is exactly what I wanted to do. So, it was what it was. So I ended up telling her that she was very much pissed. And the mom was like, why would you do that while I'm here? Like, you couldn't wait to tell her that, like, later on. I'm just like, well, I had to tell her now because she think I'm going to school tomorrow and I'm not going to school tomorrow. Like, literally drive to a whole nother county, city, everything, 2 hours away. She think I'm going back and I'm not going back. So, I had learned early on though that it wasn't gonna be modeling. Like, I knew also, I was like, okay, it ain't gonna be that. But it did lead me to other stuff. And that's why that small little part of my journey meant so much to me, because it was me following my heart. Did it sound stupid? Absolutely. Very stupid. But it was a part of my journey. Essentially, it was part of, if I hadn't took that step then, I don't know if I would be doing what I'm doing now. That's what I'm saying. And just, taking that risk, because I could have just kept moseying on and getting into more financial debt with like student loans and stuff. I could have just kept doing that, but I was like, they gotta end now, because I'm at this point I'm living for somebody else. I'm not even doing what I want to be doing, And granted, sometimes I still do kind of like look back and kind of regret it and just be like, I low-key wish I probably had have pursued it more, like college, because I could have maybe started sewing in college, or like joining clubs, which I'm not a join the club type of person. I'm very much like, I'm not a big old group type of person, so that's why stuff like that didn't really come natural to me either. And I don't know if it would have if I had stayed there. I had to learn it basically my own way. So I ended up staying home from school, and I kept my job. I was working at Waffle House. I was a server there. So I kind of just did that, and I think I kind of like moseyed around for a while, like kind of just, feeling out life. Like, life was really hitting me at this point, because now it's like, number one, every time somebody see you, they always say, oh, what you doing in school? Or you ready to go back to school? Or, what you learning in school? How's school? School. And that was one of the most annoying questions ever, especially when you don't want to be there. So I had to face all those questions going back to work, and basically telling them that I'm not going back to school. And so to them, they looking at me like, okay, so you just gonna be stuck at the Waffle House. But I had no different, because I'm just so determined. I'm just such a determined person. And Waffle House wasn't it, because I was still very much young. Like, I might have been like 20 at this point. So I'm still young. I still got time to figure it out. I don't have to, I still got some time to be great. It's like, give me a chance. You know what I mean? Let me show you. How about that? And those was like the hardest years. I'm not gonna say that was the hardest. I know it wasn't that bad, but it was a hard time, for real, seriously, because I didn't know what I wanted, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I know what I didn't want to do. I know who I didn't want to be, but I didn't know who I wanted to be, and stuff like that. So I ended up staying with the job, and you know, kind of hanging out with my boyfriend, kind of like back and forth. Oh, I think my room is beside somebody's kitchen. I could hear the banging. But anyways, yeah. So I knew what I didn't want to do. So yeah, I could definitely hear them over there. But so I knew what I didn't want to do. So um I kind of just kept going, and then but me just staying with my mama and just, you know, still going to see my boyfriend and stuff like that. You know, they kind of got very old to somebody. Like, to her, I think it got very old. Like, ma'am, what are you doing with your life? Like, in which I understand it. Because if she hadn't played that role that she did, I think I would have been, I don't know if I would have been as eager to pursue my purpose as I was, because I didn't have her. She played that part of kind of pushing me, like pushing me in that direction, even when it hurt, even when, you know, we disagreed so many times because she didn't agree with what I was doing. Like, just basically just pondering a lot. That's what I would say, just pondering. But honestly, during that time, I was getting to know myself. Like, because when you leave in high school to go to college, you kind of just thrown into a whole nother life. You go from being like this teenager to like now I'm an adult, basically. So during that time, I had to really sit and think, like get to know myself, and, you know, make some mistakes. I made some mistakes and stuff like that. You gotta learn, like, this is what I don't want to do. This is who I don't want to be. And that went on probably about 2 years. I want to say maybe about a year and a half of like me kind of just tiptoeing, you know, around. So, fast forward, we get into one of those disagreements that I was speaking about before, and it gets really bad at this point. It gets very bad, and it kind of led me to a point to where I'm like, okay, I gotta do something. Like, something gotta give. I gotta figure something out. I gotta figure something out, because I can't just stay in this spot physically and mentally. So I ended up getting off work one day. I think this might have been like January of 2019, of 20 probably 2019. I don't know the timelines, but I know it was in January. I ended up getting off of work, the Waffle House, and I ended up going straight to Hobby Lobby. Um, so I just went there and I just looked around, and, you know, this is my first time buying fabrics and stuff, and I was just like, I'm gonna make something. Like, it threw me into that part of my life where it's like, okay, now it's time to make something. Um, so I was very excited about doing it. I have made my first like fur bra bikini type of thing. It was so cute, so cute, still to this day. And it was the first thing I ever made, and I made it with like a needle and some fabric, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I just sat right there and I just did it. I think I cut out maybe like a triangle, and then just kind of worked it from there. Um, and then that's when I knew, I was like, okay, I could do something. And then my daddy, who was a lot more like level-headed and more like patient with me, I would say, he was like, he had this like a little coupon book or whatever, and it had a sewing machine in there, and he was like, don't you need this or whatever? But I didn't even know what a sewing machine was. Like, I didn't even know what a sewing machine was, because where would I have, you know, seen the sewing machine? My mama didn't sew. My grandma did. Both of my grandmas did, but not at the time where I'm around. So I'm like, he was like, yeah, it'll make it faster. Like, you know, your sewing become, like I said before, I'm sewing with my hand at this point. So I'm like, all right, yeah, and I think it was $70 in the coupon book. I think so. It might have been more than that, but I ended up just kind of letting time go by there. But I knew I had, it sparked something in my mind. It was like, okay, it gave me something to look forward to of just getting a sewing machine. So he ended up calling me one day. He was like, this older lady is, selling her sewing machine for like $75. And mind you, y'all, it's one of those. Now I can say this now, and I'm so grateful for this lady. I am so grateful for her and that sewing machine. But I'm just gonna be honest. Now, baby, that sewing machine was so old and rickety. I could make a dress on that sewing machine if I wanted to. However, and it gave me so many problems. It gave me so many problems. It kept just whatever. But I did make some stuff on it. Now I'm not gonna do the sewing machine like that. I did make some stuff on it. But yeah, it was basically like a little rinky-dink sewing machine. So I bought it for like $75. She ended up teaching me how to thread it and stuff. So I'm so thankful for her. And I think it kind of was like, it was on and popping in. Like, it was like, okay. And then, a type of person I am, I always think I'm better than what I actually am. And that is a gift and a curse. But in this time, it actually benefited me because now I got a little bit more confidence. I'm over here making bathing suits now. Like, I'm making whole bathing suits, literally, like no pattern. I just got one of my old like bikinis and like just traced it out on the pattern, and I made some really cute bikinis and stuff. So this one I kind of just I started there with bikinis, and then I kind of like went to doing like dresses. I made 2 tops, just having fun with it. I think I had to move to Augusta at this point because the disagreements were kind of getting bad, so I just moved to Augusta for a while. And then I ended up getting pregnant with Aiden because I missed Greensboro so bad. I miss Greensboro so much. So I basically, but that's not to say that I got pregnant on purpose, but was in love with my man. So I wanted to be with him really bad also. So I ended up getting pregnant with Aiden. And I ended up coming back to Greensboro, and during the time of me, being pregnant, I kind of slowed down on my sewing, like a lot. Like I probably didn't start back sewing and probably to like a year later, like literally. I didn't start back sewing until like a year later, or whatever. So, it was what it was. So we ended up I stayed with my mama. I moved back with my mama. I moved back with her, and then the mom was with his sister, so I kind of spent some nights with him, and then my focus, wasn't more so much on myself no more. It was pretty much on my baby at this point. So I had to my focus off of sewing just completely, and I just was focused on Aiden and having a safe delivery with Aiden. So we end up moving into our own apartment, and y'all, during that time of us like saving and stuff like that, like not really having much like bills and stuff like that, well, we didn't have any bills because we were staying with other people. So during that time, Demond, he was able to like run it up. Like he had some money. Okay, he had some money. So we ended up moving to our first apartment. It was in a project, Section 8, but it still was an apartment. Okay, so the rent was very cheap. And he just gave me his credit card, and he was just like, you know, go buy some stuff. Girl, I had a ball. Oh my God. I was in Walmart just picking up stuff because I could do that because he just had so much money. Like he was banked up. So he just gave me his card, like, just, you know, go buy some stuff for the house. And I went, got all the, you know, decorations for the house and stuff like that. And I mean for the apartment. And I also bought a sewing machine. This is how much money he had. He didn't even notice I had bought this sewing machine with his money. But I'm like, I need a new sewing machine. Let me just go ahead and just get a sewing machine. So I spent $200 on that. And oh my God, it was so up from there. Like, that's when stuff really took off and blew out the water. Like, that's when it was like, okay, it's time now. Like, now it's time. It's time to actually like tiptoe my feet into my purpose. Not even like really just being in my purpose yet, but just tiptoeing into my purpose, right? So, you know, I end up getting really cool with this girl from my hometown, and she was a photographer. And so we would do a lot of shoots and stuff. I might have talked about this on here before, but we would do a whole bunch of like photo shoots and stuff. And then my cousin was a model, so I used to make a whole lot of clothes for her. I made a whole lot of clothes, and she would model the clothes, and I would model the clothes that I made like from scratch, literally. And she would just take pictures. Like, she would get her content. My cousin wanted to be a model at that time. She would get her content, and then, you know, me being the designer, I got my content too. So it worked out for everybody. But, you know, things didn't, you know, go. It was a halt to all that, basically. All that came to a stop, basically, because I think we were more focused on the fun aspect of it rather than really just taking this and like really just going hard and really like, you know, going balls to the wall and really making magic with these, you know, but now that you got all the materials that you need. So I think we something ended up happening to where me and the photographer girl kind of had a disagreement, I would say. We had a disagreement. I know what y'all gonna say. Y'all said, damn, you must be the problem. And that might be. No, seriously. It was like something kind of petty, but, you know, we never kind of resolved it. I think we kind of were just like, whatever. And just kind of just stopped speaking, which I still speak to her to this day. No, like, no hard feelings or nothing like that. But it stopped everything that we were doing. So I kind of stopped what I was doing a little bit, just a little bit. Like, I would kind of still do like alterations and stuff for people, like sewing and stuff like that. But I wasn't as eager to like create clothes and, you know, put them out there as I was before. So one day I was just thinking, and I'm just like, why did I stop doing it? I really could still be doing what I was doing. Like, I still can like model. Now I can actually model my clothes and have like full creative control of everything that I was doing, because that's what I think I wanted to do anyways. Just have that creative control of my pictures and stuff like that, and stuff that I was putting out there. And, you know, because if somebody else is taking those pictures for you, you know, obviously I gotta wait on her to edit the pictures. You know, she still got her day-to-day life. She gotta take time to sit down and edit her pictures and send them to me and stuff like that. But I'm like, I need this now. Like, I gotta put my content out there too. So I just started doing everything by myself. Like, I became the designer, the stylist, the model, the photographer, the videographer, the content creator, the social media person. I became that whole thing, And I would say that's the most fun I think I ever had in my life. Like, because I would just sit at home and I'm on my housewife stuff at this point. Like, and Aiden's he's probably like 2 at this point. Somewhere around there. Probably like 1 or 2. So, I would just sit and I would just make me an outfit. I would go to Goodwill, cut up something from there, like take a t-shirt and turn it into like a 2-piece, shit like that. And then I would just do that on repeat. And I would make an outfit, get really cute in the morning before Aiden wake up. Like early in the morning, I would get really cute, go to a spot and set my camera up and take videos of myself, take pictures of myself, and I would put that content out there on social media. And I did that for like a long time, and I had so much fun doing that. That was so fun. So that kind of go back to me saying, like, when you just starting out and you don't know what you're doing, that's the fun part. Like, people sleep on that part. And they think that it gotta be so perfect when you following your passion and you following your purpose. It don't have to be perfect. It should be perfect because you're a beginner. So people don't expect perfection out of you. Only you expect perfection out of you. But people don't understand it because a lot of people spend a lot of time looking at other people who are already perfect, but they don't show you that part where they messed up. Like, I've messed up. I messed up on dresses before when I first started. Am I gonna put it on social media? Absolutely not. I mean, I have talked about it on here before, but I'm not gonna put that part on social media because, you know, human nature. So a lot of people get confused and they think that everything is just so gravy. That, oh my God, everybody who started a business is just perfect at what they're doing. No. You gotta start somewhere. You gotta fail. Like, everything ain't gonna go right. Like I said, I messed up dresses before. I didn't just come out the wham just doing bomb dresses. No, some of my dresses did not look tea. I mean, they kind of did. They kind of did, ain't gonna lie to you. But I can, from my perspective now, I can look at some of my dresses and say, I should have did this style look better, or I should have did that part just a little bit better, or I should have covered that part right there, or I shouldn't have covered it. I shouldn't, you know, just stuff like that. It's not gonna be perfect when you first start. This is the part where you gotta have fun. You gotta have fun first and fall in love with what you're doing, and then now you can learn how to be professional at what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, so that's basically what I want to talk about. Just do it already. You know, I always talk to her, and then she just have so many ideas, and I'm just like, just do it. Like, because you keep coming up with these ideas, and ideas can turn into excuses really fast because you're not executing those ideas. Ideas that you don't execute are just excuses on why you haven't started. Go ahead and start. That way you can go ahead and rip the band-aid off. Know that part that you're so scared about, just go ahead and put yourself out there. And who cares if it's cringe? You know what I mean? Like, at least 80% of the world are working jobs and don't even have a purpose to even go to. And if they do, they don't have the knowledge or the confidence to even embark on that purpose. So for you to actually have something and you not pursuing it, I feel like it just, you know what I mean? I feel it just, for you to actually have something right here on your chest from God and you just not even pursue it, it's just so crazy to me. Like, I can't even wrap my mind around it. Like, God gave you something and you just sitting on it like everything just gravy. Like you don't get to do that. Like, you don't get to do that. You have to fulfill that. Or, like I said before, God will put you in a position where you gotta fulfill that. Like for me, I just talk about this whole college thing and how my purpose came about. My purpose came about because my back was against the wall and I didn't have nothing. So That's what I want to talk about today, y'all. I know that this conversation was very long, and you know I enjoyed it because it's been a while since I posted on here. So I'm gonna kind of leave it at that, and I just want y'all to do it. Just do it. Like, I don't care how stupid it sounds. As long as you ain't hurt nobody and you can see that through, like, you can see, like, oh, they're gonna take me somewhere. As long as you got that thought right there, like, this gonna take you somewhere, you going somewhere. That's up to you to figure that part out. If you don't fulfill that purpose, then you just wasting time. And you wasting space, low key. And I hate to sound like that. I hate to sound like that, but it's like you're wasting space because you're supposed to be here walking in your purpose. Especially when God give you something. He gave you something. Do something with it. Go far with it. And how about you do this? How about you tell, how about another part of your story can be on how you were so afraid to embark on this journey, but here you are. Let it be a part of your story too. So that'll give you something to pacify on. Like, you know, that'll give you something to, that'll give you a sweater if you feel naked. You know, it'll give you a story to say, y'all, you could be in the doing your thing, doing hair. You can be like, y'all, I can't believe I'm over here doing this. I didn't think I was gonna be doing this. And now you attracting more people who are very like-minded, who want to embark on their journey too, but they don't know how to do it, or they scared to do it. And you showing them like, y'all, look at me, I'm over here doing this. Like, I'm putting myself out there. Y'all can put y'allself out there too. I was scared too. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy. But that concludes this video, y'all. I really hope y'all enjoyed it. If you stayed to the end, thank you. And I will see y'all in the next video. The next video is probably, I've been saying this forever, but the next video is probably gonna be like fun facts about me, or like, you know, stuff about me, like fun facts about myself, and you know, we're gonna get into all of that. Or I'm doing another video. I'm not sure what video I'm gonna do next, but I'm really enjoying this YouTube thing. If you know, this is like a burner account. If you're here, that means you're supposed to be here. I don't promote this page. I don't even want this page promoted at all. I like for it to be kind of like hidden. So if you find it, that means you're supposed to find it. So I hope y'all have a good day. Yeah, today is October 14th, 2024. I don't know. I think it's October 14th. But anyway, it could be 15th. I'm not sure. But anyways, y'all have a good day, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.